In the early morning hours of December 11th, a golden urn allegedly containing the remains of Gautama Buddha, founder of the Buddhist religion, was stolen from its hilltop monument in rural Cambodia. The guard assigned to protect the remains, sleeping while on duty that night. Claimed to have been awoken by a noise to find that the monument, commonly called a stupa, had been broken into and the urn was missing. It's unclear whether the theft was carried out for political or monetary gain. In the past, remains of Buddha have been stolen by those seeking the supernatural powers the relics are believed to carry, not, as may have been the case this time, by profiteer grave robbers. The remains of the Buddha have been the focus of political conflict throughout Asia, with more than a dozen countries claiming to have the authentic relics. The Cambodian remains have been gifted by the government of Sri Lanka to the King of Cambodia in 1957. The Cambodian police have arrested the derelict guard in connection to the theft, but the monks remain unsatisfied, taking to the streets by the hundreds to demand action from the Cambodian government. The government must try its best to find the relics because they belong to all of us, said Chief Monk Kim Sorn in the Phnom Penh Post. The monks believe that the government's lack of action represent a direct attack against the Buddhist religion. The monks seeking justice for this crime join other Cambodian anti-government protesters in the increasingly restive country. Political unrest began last summer following disputed elections, and this unexplained theft of the Buddha's remains served to further erode the Cambodian people's trust in their government. President and founder of Rationalist International, Sanal Edamaruku, has basically been driven out of his native India by the Catholic Church and the Indian blasphemy laws prohibiting deliberate and malicious acts intended to outrage religious feelings in any class by insulting its religion or religious beliefs. Edamaruku, the child of a blended faith family, grew up in an intellectually free environment. My parents wanted me to have every option and to make my own decisions, he remembers. He embraced rationalism at the age of 15 after witnessing the death of a young woman when her religious parents refused medical treatment, relying on prayer instead. Her death shook me deeply, he says. In 2012, Edamaruku investigated a dripping crucifix at Our Lady of Velankani Church in Mumbai. The church had called the water a miracle, but it turned out to be caused by a leak from a clogged pipe in the bathroom on the other side of the wall. Edamaruku's televised criticism of the lack of scientific curiosity by church leadership enraged India's Catholic Church, which had the debunker charged with criminal blasphemy. If convicted, Edamaruku could be sentenced to 5 years in prison. The Vatican has remained silent about its Indian representatives' involvement in Edamaruku's criminal charges. Catholic leaders in Mumbai, however, are pleased with the charges and wish to see Edamaruku be meted justice for what they consider blasphemy. Meanwhile, the man is now working to shed light on religious politics of India, offering any assistance he can, exiled as he is, to his countrymen and women in their efforts to see India's Supreme Court strike down the blasphemy law as unconstitutional. The government has the duty to protect religious and non-religious citizens, said Edamaruku, but not religion. Religion is a private matter. On January 15th, Egyptian voters approved a new constitution featuring, among other things, the guarantee of religious freedom for the country's minority Christian and Jewish citizens. The constitutional referendum, gathering 98% of the vote in 25 of Egypt's 27 provinces, is a revision of the constitution signed by former President Mohamed Morsi prior to his ouster in 2012. The new constitution not only guarantees religious freedom to Christians and Jews, but affords both groups legal authority over their own family and religious matters, such as marriage and the election of religious leaders. The new constitution ignores, however, people of other or no faiths, and clearly leans in favor of Sunni Islam. The Constitution also reaffirms Islam as a state religion and supports the authority of Sharia law in Egypt. While the vote was clear enough to be called a mandate from the people, the new Constitution is very clear about maintaining military control and restricting civilian influence over the government. This may open the door for Egypt's current Minister of Defense, General Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, to mount a presidential bid as the country looks to stabilize its leadership. Egypt has been operating under an interim government since the overthrow of the Morsi administration. Despite the popular vote in an openly sympathetic government, Islamic supporters of the former Morsi administration are against adoption of the new constitution. Reports of voter intimidation and suppression of those in opposition to the constitution have been widespread, but no formal accusations of fraud have been made.